What's poppin'? It's your girl Custom Zai back with another video. I know it's been a minute since I got on here. It's been a while. But today we are finna do Icks as an artist while I do a watercolor painting. But I'm about to change the angle and like bring the camera closer and all that stuff so y'all could see what I'm doing and follow step by step. I already did like the line drawing type thing, but it's still a lot more steps to it. So yeah, let's just jump right into the video with the first ick, and then also while y'all follow along on what I'm doing. Okay, a side note, I'm actually very happy about this angle I was able to get because it's my first time doing this for real, and I don't know why I'm just not like thinking about doing it like this. But yeah, if my hands actually don't mind them, I know they look a little manly. First, I'm gonna start off by showing y'all everything that you're going to need for the watercolor painting before I get into the icks. So you have your piece you're finna do on downtown Atlanta. So you have your piece you're finna do, masking tape, a palette, or you can use this palette paper. I recommend, well, not for watercolor because it's just gonna slide right off, but any other medium like acrylic or whatever, I recommend that, so that you don't have to keep washing something like this off for trying to, you know, yeah. But I use this for watercolor because you can always like get these colors to come back up by just adding water. Of course, your watercolor brushes, your watercolor paints, and did I say water? Water. And that's it. But with my first step, because of the way that I put my line drawing down was by scale, obviously, like the grid method. So before I even start applying any paint, I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and erase all the grid lines so that that doesn't show through in my painting and then mess up everything. Start with the first, this is kind of like a paint with me type thing, so yeah. I'm gonna start with the first ick as an artist. My first ick as an artist is when your family tries to undersell you. Like, say if you're pursuing art as a career. Now, I'm speaking like from a, like that type of, like a freelance artist type of perspective, not just like a regular artist who just, you know, does art recreationally. But from a freelance artist perspective, it is an ick when the people you love, the people you rock with, try to get work for the free ski or dummy discounted, or just like, you know, that's my first ick. Let me further explain. I'm not gonna lie, I've done free work for like my friends and family or whatever, and didn't think twice about it. Like, they didn't have to ask, and I didn't really even, you know, like, I didn't think about it. I just did it. It was something that I wanted to do, something I ended up doing, and then boom, like, they got some free work or whatever, or discounted work. But what grinds my gears is when, like, first of all, when they assume that it's gonna be free. Like, don't just assume that you're never gonna have to, like, not have to, but just don't assume. Don't assume. And then on top of that, don't act like you're gonna pay me or want to pay me for the work or gonna tip, or just don't sell me a dream. Like, keep it a buck. If you feel like you should be getting it for free, if you feel like you want it for free, whatever the case may be, if you feel like you need it for free, you can just say that from jump instead of making it seem like you're a paying customer that's finna like bless me or something. Like, you're not. You just want something done, and that's fine. You can just say that. But like, don't assume and don't say you're gonna pay me and then don't, and then use the "oh, we family" card type ish. I was watching the Jamie Foxx show the other night or morning or whatever it was, and Jamie was doing some type of business endeavor, and the aunt and uncle was like, "Oh, you're finna charge us for that?" Oh, a jingle. He was doing jingles and they wanted one for the hotel. They was like, "Y'all, you finna charge us for that? We like let you live in our hotel for free." And he was like, "Oh." He went on a rant basically saying how it be your own people trying to get over on you, trying to like, you know, like you go in Gucci, spin a bag, won't ask for no type of discount, but you can't like fund your partners, fund your people's dreams. Like, you can't support their business, that type of stuff. And then they was like, "You know what, you right." And then they kicked him out the hotel from him just living there for the free ski or whatever. And then I thought about that, and I thought about this ick, and it's just like, I get it from that perspective. Obviously, family is going to do for each other, so yeah. But just as I was saying, don't create no false narrative like, "Oh, because I freaking put food on your plate, you should undersell yourself and your dreams, your ambitions, what you work on every day, what you trying to build up to be something. You should undersell that in return for the shit I do for you should be from the kindness of their heart, period. Like, if you doing anything for me, anybody doing something for me in my life, I really pray to God that they are not doing it with the intention to have something to hold against me, like, "Oh, I did this, so you gotta do this." No, that's wrong. I don't want you to do nothing for me, period, if you gonna turn around and try to use anything, art, anything to say, "Oh, I did this, so you should do this." Like, that's no. So bottom line is, if you call somebody your family, your dog, whatever the case may be, and they got something going on to where it needs to be funded, it would behoove you to give them at least the same decency that you give everything else that you finance in your life, period. If not more, because that's your people. And once I'm eating, once I'm up, everybody up. And I'm gonna remember people who try to, I'm not really gonna remember because I'm really just not that type of person, but somebody out there is going to remember who actually was down for the ride and put in on the gas, and who was just trying to get in the back seat. You feel me? It's taking me dumb long to do this. I usually just like thug it out and keep the grid lines, but with my last painting, I noticed that that's really ghetto. I gotta stop doing that if I'm trying to elevate my status. I'm finna finish this, come back, and then start on the next ick. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. Hopefully that time lapse was cute. So now I'm finna go to the next step of the watercolor process, which is masking off the edges. The next ick is, okay, when you get like a commission and they tell you just freestyle, but then they turn around and be like, oh yeah, fuck no. Bruh, that's just, it's a waste of time, honestly. And that's why a lot of the time, like, I don't know if this is like a common like fear when freelance artists are just starting out to like not trust any of their clients, but I feel like I'm currently experiencing that. Any like new commission that I get, I often question like, is it real? Are they trying to scam me? Like, who is this? Do they really like, you know, are they finna pay me? That type of stuff. Like, I truly feel like everybody's trying to scam me. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a few attempts. But we're not even finna get into that right now. Say, oh, you can freestyle, just do what you think looks good, etc., etc. And you do exactly that, but then it's like, nah, I'm not really messing with this. They got hella changes they want you to make. Now that kind of like pushes back the whole project in general. I'ma just like tape it to this because it's really something where they call it stretching the watercolor paper. I don't really do that, but I guess I kind of am because I'm gonna tape it to this board. But anyways, yeah, I hate that. Like, you could have just said what you wanted from jump instead of making me waste my time thinking I get a chance to freestyle and then you don't like everything. Like, it's been a few times where that happened to me, and I feel like I handled it professionally though, because I could have been more upset about the situation, but I wasn't. I kept my cool, did what I had to do, and yeah, it worked out. So yeah. But word of advice for artists out there, to avoid situations like that, just don't accept that as an answer when somebody is commissioning you for anything. Don't accept, oh, just freestyle, I trust your creative, da-da-da. Just don't accept that for an answer. If you ask somebody what they want in a composition or what color they want something or anything of that nature, do not accept just do whatever, or freestyle or whatever. Like, pick their brain, see exactly what they're trying to accomplish with the piece or whatever, and act accordingly. Do not really freestyle on that junk, because you're gonna be mad when you get done and then they're like, no, like, where did all of these ideas come from when I asked? That's my second ick. Back to this painting. As you can tell, I tried to get all the grid lines out, but couldn't really. But it's okay, because if y'all seen my reference that I'm looking at, it's like hella like dark areas where the grids are still kind of visible, so it's okay. The main line like thing I was trying to get down was the person, because the background behind him is gonna be like a sunset scene, so I'm gonna kind of freestyle on that, even though I just said don't freestyle. This is mine too. But and then this is finna be a bed, and then this is like the ground or whatever, so it's fine. But yeah, have y'all ever seen, I'm gonna insert a picture of the painting. It's like an iconic painting. It's kind of a play on that, but I'm gonna do a separate video about like my art show I have coming up and what I'm using this piece for, but I don't want to speak too much about that yet. So before I get to the next ick, the next thing you want to do with this painting is get your weapon of choice. Watercolor paints, to me, they go by very fast. You might think like, oh, I'm finna do this whole ass painting, it's about to take however long. Not really. Watercolor gets done pretty fast. Yes, it's more so about just putting down lights and darks and blending. I recently took a watercolor class and I had hella fun. I actually really like watercolor. At a point, I hated it. I did not understand it at all. And now, I'm really rocking with it. Like, I think it's amazing how fast you can get so much, like, vibrant detail. It's really cool. If you haven't tried it, you should. You definitely should. So, I don't know if I'm gonna get through this whole painting in this video. I imagine it would be dumb long if I did, but what I am gonna make sure I get through it is the person. So, that's what I'm finna start with. Like I said, since I already have a palette with like dried up colors, all I would have to do for real is take my brush, my water, dip it in there a little bit, and then I want like a brownish. Is this brown? I think this brown. You see, it's getting wet. It's getting wet. Then boom, look, sample, boom. Ooh. Yeah. You wanna have a napkin too to like blot every now and then. But yeah, I'm finna lock in before I tweak out. So the next ick is people trying to commercialize you as an artist. So by this, I mean, for me personally, I would say that I'm a like watercolor. Oh, what? Yeah, I'm tired. I would say that I'm a fine artist by heart, but an illustrator by like choice. I chose to major in illustration. That's how I would like categorize myself as an artist, low-key, if that's even like, you know, a thing. But yeah, I would say I'm a fine artist by heart and an illustrator by choice. And by that I just mean like what I'm doing right now. I'm literally doing traditional media, trying to prepare a series for a show, and I chose to do that, and that doesn't feel new to me. Like that's not a crazy task. Like the whole, like, I know I said I was like not finna talk about it right now, but I'm finna explain. So I'm trying to get pieces ready to do a show in May that's basically for my graduation. Like every senior has to do something called capstone, where it's like a big ass art project basically of your choice, and mine is to do like an art show. So yeah, so right now I'm just getting the pieces and stuff together to do that. And yeah, the fact that I chose to do something like that for my project as opposed to like doing a product design campaign or like, you know, something more like of a commercial artist or like contract illustrator or designer would do. Am I opposed to that type of work? No. I most definitely could see myself, like, especially after I graduate, I could definitely see myself going to like a larger firm or something of illustrators who like just, you know, do that type of thing. I'm not opposed to that at all. But what I dislike is when people try to like say you have to do one or the other. Like you have to do commercial art, and if you don't, then you're just a broke boy. Like you're just a broke some type of fucking starving artist. And yeah, like, you have to commercialize yourself. You have to learn how to do digital. You have to incorporate digital into like your portfolio. Like, you have to learn how to animate. You should know how to use all of these different like technology and stuff. Like, I don't like when they make it seem like it's a necessity. Yes, it would be nice, but that's with anything in life. Like, literally, it's good to be versatile, period. Like, period. It's good to know how to drive a stick shift. You don't have to know how to do that to succeed in life. Like, and it's the same thing with art. You don't have to know how to work with digital just as much as somebody who works in digital doesn't have to know how to use traditional media. And it doesn't make one over the other or anything of that nature. It's just the way that, like, you know, it's the way that they work. It's their style. It's what they get contracted for. It's where they feel the most comfortable, or whatever the case may be. Like, I just dislike when people try to make it seem like you have to make some part of your artistry corporate. Something about it has to be like, oh, I have a meeting today going over design layouts. Like, fuck that. I can just sit here and make, you know, pieces for my upcoming art show and still step on next. Like, it's that, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And I just feel like more artists need to be told that, because especially if they're at the like phase that I'm in right now, where it's just like you're still in school, you're really trying to figure out what you finna do type ish, like, just know that it's no pressure behind appealing to these big art companies or just appealing to anybody in general but you. Like, do what you can see yourself waking up and doing every day. Do what makes you content. Do what fulfills your artistic bones. Like, don't do nothing thinking like, oh, I have to appear this way for these people. Like, fuck that. Unless that's really your goal. Like, some people's real goal is to go corporate or be more commercial, and that's fine too. But the point is that you know what you want to do, regardless of what the next institution or job offer or artist association is telling you you need to be able to do, or you need to do, you know, period. Do y'all see the way I just did that leg? Do you see that? Like, it's not done, but it's like a start, and it's dumb faster than I would have ever been able to get with acrylic, oil, etc. That's why I respect Watercolor. She's a bad bitch. She's versatile. I'm gonna stop another time lapse, probably get to like most of the skin, probably stop at the face, I don't know, something of that nature. I'll be back. Okay, so hopefully y'all enjoyed that time lapse. I'm finna stop in a minute, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the next Icks while I continue to work on this a little bit. But yeah, I got done what I wanted to, the girl, and then I just gotta do the sunset and the bed and all that stuff. But hopefully y'all was like peeping the way I was doing things, as far as just like putting down the color and blending and doing the darks and lights and stuff like that. Okay, so the next ick was people giving like bad references for commission work. I don't know if y'all have ever seen if y'all used to watch My Wife and Kids. It was one episode where somebody was painting. I forget who it was. I don't know if it was the whole family, but somebody was painting, and they was like, they painted Jay, the mom, and she was like it was a perfect paint. It looked exactly like her. And then she was like, what? My chin is not like that. Where's my jawline? Like, she was saying it was bad and ain't look like her. And then they showed the next one. It was a painting of Holly Berry. And she was like, yup, that's me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's really like real life. That's how in words be. Like, people really like dislike the fact that that's what they look like in the reference. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, nigga, you just ugly. That's the way you look. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you wanted me to slim down your, anything, if you wanted me to make moderations to your appearance, that's fine. But you should just say that, before, once again, clarify things with the artist before they end up doing a whole, a whole piece. If they give you a picture for reference and you paint that reference and then they're like, like, I done lost a few pounds, or like, I never liked the way my forehead looked at this angle, could you please tone it down a little bit? Like, they need to say that and be explicit with it, like, because I'm not going to assume and I'm not going to make nothing up, especially when it comes to like portrait commission work type stuff. So people need to be mindful of that when they commission an artist to do something, especially when it comes to like portrait work and stuff like that. When people dead ass just can't accept that that's the way they look, or like that's the way the reference appeared that they sent me to use. Like, I have no other, I don't be thinking about how niggas look. I don't know half the people who commission me to do work. So it's just like, of course I'm not gonna, like, I don't know your insecurities. I'm not gonna make nothing up. I'm gonna sit here and paint what you gave me to paint. And that's where the disconnect comes in. And I just hate that, because then it's like, I know I'm not tweaking. Like, the way she got geeked when she seen Halle Berry, yeah, that would just piss me off, because it's like, what? But yeah, hopefully y'all like it. If you don't, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. I actually have another video idea coming up where I'm basically going to be talking about like my business goals for 2023. Go to the last ick. I'm sitting here watching DDG Woo Off is hilarious. So my last ick to end off the video is people being doubtful that you'll make it, whatever that means, as an artist. This is something I've dealt with. If you've watched my other video, I think it was assumptions about artists, I kind of touched on this. I also touched on the bad references one too in that video. Y'all should watch it if y'all haven't. But basically, my thoughts on that is, since a young age I've had people like question, because I always knew, because it changed. I wanted to be a teacher at one point. I said like a college professor. It was a lot. But anyways, I just knew I wanted to do something related to art. I knew it. I knew I wanted to do something related to art. And from jump, my OGs would be like, well, one OG in specific, I just remember him like questioning exactly what, and I'm not saying it in a way where it's like my family didn't believe in me type ish, but you always have people question your moves in life in general, and that's fine, you know. It'll happen. It makes sense. So you'll have people question your moves in life or whatever, and that's a normal. Of course they're gonna do that, because at one point they probably didn't believe in themselves. Honestly, like, you know, when people are going through their own doubts and insecurities, they project. But not only that, even on a whole nother like level of thinking, being an artist for a living is not a conventional career path. So obviously, you know, you're gonna have people who question the whole process because they don't understand it. It's not anything, it's not like being a doctor where it's like, oh, go to school for this amount of years, pass this test, boom, boom, boom. It's literally like you either gonna make some shape or you not. And, you know, people are gonna question you along the way constantly. Like, and I mean constantly. Like, that's really the part that blows me, because I'm not even one of them type of people who's like, I don't like repeating myself. But when it comes to something that I say I'm gonna do, and I know I'm gonna do it, like, especially about art, something I'm so passionate about, it really pisses me off when people constantly question, like, all right, what's the move, what's the move, what's the word? Like, why you wouldn't question? Like I said, if I was pursuing to be a doctor, it would be a more conventional route on that way. So, you know, you wouldn't really continue to sit there and keep questioning every move, because you would already have an automatic, like, you just would already figure I'm gonna be straight because of the title of the job or whatever. But that's the way I feel about art. Like, even though, because I truly, like, I was having a conversation with my mentor a minute ago, and she was like telling me that she's proud that I'm even keeping with my plans, because like it's hard. It's not a conventional like career path. Owning a business and then artistry at that, like, who's doing that for real? And I had to stop for a minute, like, wow, it is an unconventional art path. Like, I am kind of popping my shit right now for somebody who's literally not playing by a rule book type shit. Like, it's literally something that's step by step, opportunity by opportunity, connection by connection, who you know. Like, the next piece I do might be that one, like, that ends up getting me all the notoriety I could ever imagine. Like, and that's really what the whole like journey is about. Everybody is on a journey, bro. Like, I say that all the time, and sometimes people be laughing at me when I say that, like I sound like a hippie or something, but it's really true. Like, and you can't sit here and compare yourself to nobody. You can't listen to certain stuff. Like, you really just gotta lock in on your journey and do what makes you content. Focus on you. Get through, like, fulfill your plans, your will, go by your way. Like, stay prayed up, ask God for help and guidance, and you're going to get to where you want and need to be, period. Like, that's just how it is. That's whatever you pursuing. Like, don't ever listen to somebody doubting your process or what you should be doing or anything of that nature, what you could be doing. I just feel like that's all bullshit. That's all the enemy trying to distract you from what the bigger picture is. And the bigger picture is exactly what you want it to be. Period. And, you know, it's important to keep in mind that us non-conventional path takers are not the only ones out here. Like, there's always more. There's always other creators out here going through the same things you are. So if you fail at something, don't feel like you can't try it again. And don't feel like you're the only one failing, because literally an artist down the street just launched their website and ain't nobody buying nothing. So don't think that like your struggle is your own, because nothing is new under the sun. In the same way that Picasso became Picasso, you can become you. You can be known for being you. Also, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Don't be the one who says that somebody's not finna be successful at something. And don't be the one, because recently I've been like, I don't know why the devil been like creeping in a little bit, but when it comes to like other people's endeavors or whatever, don't ever be like, oh, this nigga ain't having no motion. It's been how many years and this nigga still ain't made nothing. Like, don't do that. Do not do that, because God will humble you real quick and be like, yep, just the same way you just couldn't figure out how that nigga was struggling that bad. Now you get it. You get it in full effect. Like, don't hate on nobody. Don't think because somebody's like older and they still ain't where they want to be that they must have just been bullshitting. Like, don't think stuff like that, because it's a lot of things that happened to me in life that I would have never imagined, and good and bad. And I just know for a fact that life will definitely humble you, you know. So don't think like you just know niggas work ethic must be off, or niggas just ain't trying hard enough. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm finna do one more lapse of me finishing this like bed and maybe part of the floor. I'm hungry, so, and I'm pretty tired. I can hear it in my voice, and I gotta work in the morning. So yeah, but I'm finna finish the bed, probably the floor, because it's only this little thing, and then I'm gonna end out the video.